Well, a Delhi court is, of course, scheduled to hear Jacqueline Fernandez's regular bail plea. Pictures on your screen, in fact, are of Jacqueline Fernandez making her way to the Patiala House Court. Now, do remember that the court is scheduled to hear the regular bail plea of Jacqueline Fernandez in connection with the Enforcement Directorate case that's related to about 2 crore rupees of money laundering involving the conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar and others. Now, earlier, she was granted interim bail in this particular matter by the trial court. And the Enforcement Directorate had, of course, opposed the regular bail plea of Jacqueline Fernandez, saying that she's never cooperated with the investigation and only made the disclosures when she was confronted with the evidence. Now, what we are given to understand is that in its investigations, the ED so far has said that she was very well aware of the links that Sukesh Chandrasekhar had, and also the fact that she was aware of his doing. So in the opposing of Jacqueline Fernandez's bail plea, the ED has mentioned all of this in the court. Now, what we're given to understand is that today the court, the Patiala House Court, of course, is scheduled to hear this bail plea of the Bollywood actor in connection with the Enforcement Directorate's case. Now, the Enforcement Directorate, of course, has said that this is a 200 crore money laundering case in which she's facing charges. The Enforcement Directorate, of course, has questioned her on various occasions, and sources within the Enforcement Directorate have told Republic TV that she did not cooperate at their very behest, and it was only after she was confronted with evidence that the Enforcement Directorate seemed to have that she began cooperating. So that's essentially what the Enforcement Directorate has been saying while opposing her bail plea. However, a lower court had granted her bail in the money laundering case. This was done, of course, by a trial court. And today, what we are expecting is that her bail plea is likely to be opposed once again in the Patiala House Court by the Enforcement Directorate. I'm going to try and go across to our reporters in just a bit to give us more details on this. Now, the additional sessions judge, of course, had earlier issued a notice to the ED on Jacqueline Fernandez's regular bail petition and granted an interim bail to her till the pendency of the regular bail petition. So the interim bail that she was granted, of course, was pending this bail plea that is now being heard in the Patiala House Court. So pictures on your screen, of course, are of Jacqueline Fernandez making her way inside the Patiala House Court. Do remember the ED is investigating charges against her, and the basic and the primary point that the ED in its various investigations has made is the fact that they believe that Jacqueline Fernandez was aware of the antecedents of Sukesh Chandrasekhar, and despite being aware of the charges against him, she continued to accept gifts from him. Now, the ED, has, of course, we are told, furnished a list of gifts that were given to Jacqueline Fernandez. These include very, very expensive cars, other accessories, including designer handbags. What we've also learned so far in this case is that the ED has maintained that Jacqueline Fernandez was very well aware of the large extortion racket that the conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar had been running, not just from inside Tihar jail, but even previously to that. The ED says that she knew of all this, and despite that, she was in regular touch with him. She was accepting gifts, not just for herself, but for her family also. Earlier, we were hearing the fact that Sukesh Chandrasekhar had loaned certain money to her family as well. And of course, the ED has detailed out the number of gifts that she received. Now, the gifts, of course, do include a luxury vehicle, the list from the ED. Now, these are allegations of the Enforcement Directorate, where it says that there were other accessories, including designer handbags and clothes that were given by Sukesh Chandrasekhar to Jacqueline Fernandez on various occasions.